Some people grow older and they never grow up. They want all the freedoms of adulthood and they want everyone else to be accountable but themselves. I know so many grown kids, y'all, and quite frankly, I have learned that engaging with them and arguing with them is not the best use of my energy. Like, you cannot reason with someone who lacks emotional maturity and emotional regulation. It is very hard. Yet, I will tell you this, they do not have the purity of children. So they never matured spiritually, mentally, emotionally. It's like they're stuck in the past and in the lack of development. And it's like their mindset is the same. It's like, and I noticed that it's especially when trauma happens to them. It's like wherever the trauma happened, it's like they stop growing. It's like at that moment, whatever, development or whatever growth was happening to them was paused because they could not escape that trauma, whatever wrapped itself around their ankles, as we would say. I found that the worst part about these grown older people is that they think because they grew older that they have nothing to learn. Like, if you talk to them, they'll be like, I know everything. That's generally their point of mind. Or they'll be like, I'm set in my ways, and that's just the only way it's going to be. And when you try to reason with them, when you try to get them to grow, when it's time for them to get responsibility, when it's time for accountability, they can't handle it. They can't take on that additional responsibility. They will hold everyone accountable but themselves. They will out-talk any situation just to not hold themselves accountable. They live in the upside down, truly. So when we talk about what we give our energy to, and we think about, how we go in our day-to-day lives, I want you to consider if you have anybody like this around you, anyone, family, parents, friends, anybody, work, anything, anyone this may be applicable to. And you see them throwing tantrums too, right? You see them not being accountable. You see the lack of emotional maturity. You see the lack of regulation. You see the lack of integrity. You see the lack of honesty. You can tell someone has stopped or chosen to stop growing. Do me this favor. Put some distance between yourself and that person. Because the way that energy works, they most certainly are affecting your field. And while they might not totally stop your growth, they definitely could slow you down. And they could lower your frequency as well. And if you're in an environment, a group of friends, a group where this is applicable and they are all vibing that way, I highly recommend, if that you are not in resonance with that frequency, if you are not in resonance with that vibe, with that aura, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you get out of that group as soon as possible for your sake of mind, to be true to yourself. And like, if you're hanging out with them, you might be thinking like, why do I always feel so pressed? Why do I always feel so anxious? Why doesn't it just ever feel like, this is good enough? Well, that's your subconscious. That's your higher self telling you that you're out of alignment with those people. And sometimes we just want to keep people around us just to fill the space, just so we don't feel alone. But sometimes we have to be alone so that we can recalibrate and reconcile who we want to be and the type of people we want to have around us, to make space for the right people who are in alignment with us to come in. And if you're in a relationship with somebody like this, which I have had several relationships like this, y'all, and I tried, but I highly recommend that you evaluate where you're at, because it really is frustrating, and it will cause you a lot of anxiety. It will cause you a lot of angst, maybe crying, because if you're in a higher frequency and a higher state of emotional regulation and maturity, as well as spiritual growth and ascension, you're like talking a different language to them. It's as if you are existing in the same space, but at different frequencies. You literally are. Two people can be in the same space and vibe different. They can vibrate at different frequencies in the same space. And what happens is the longer you stay with that person in the same space, in different frequencies, guess what's going to happen to yours if you're up here? Boop, 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 boop. And also you're going to slow down. And that can affect your bag. That can affect your joy. That can affect your peace. That can affect your life. That can affect your household. That can affect your children. And if your parents are staying with you, and your place, your home environment, what is supposed to be your sanctuary, your peace, the place where you rest so that you can thrive, will be impacted. In your root chakra, which is very, very important for you, will be impacted. And then your sacral, and then your solar, and then everything else. What I also would like for you to do today is to stop debating, stop trying to convince, stop arguing with people like this. It's called directed shield. Like, focus on the people who resonate with you. And if someone doesn't, stop trying to convince them. Stop trying to convince them. Stop trying to convince somebody to care about you that's committed to misunderstanding you. Stop trying to get a group of friends or a friend to like you when they're committed to not liking you. There's so much other things that you can do with your time, like creating a life that you want to live and enjoying it, or raising your beautiful children to be a better version of you and carrying your legacy. I hope that this message is helpful. I hope that it resonates. Vel'nari Sha'kai. Peace.